It's one of the most chilling stories to ever come out of the frozen north. Legend has it that in the dead of winter, 1930, an entire village, some say as many as 1,200 souls, disappeared from the face of the earth. They left behind everything: pots of food still hanging over dead fires, rifles leaning against doorways, and all their worldly possessions. There were no signs of a struggle, not a single footprint in the snow. The only clues? Reports of a bizarre pulsating light that lit up the night sky, and a terrifying mystery that has fueled speculation for almost a century. The story always begins in Nunavut, Canada, one of the most brutal and unforgiving environments on the planet. The barren grounds. And it always begins with the same man, a fur trapper named Joe LaBelle. In November of 1930, LaBelle mushed his dog sled toward a small Inuit village on the shore of Anjikuni Lake. He'd been there before and was expecting a warm welcome. But as he got closer, the first thing that struck him was the silence. Not the usual peaceful quiet of the Arctic, but a deep, unnerving stillness. There was no smoke, no children playing, no dogs barking, just nothing. He called out, but only the wind answered back. Hesitantly, he entered the silent camp. Outside one tent, a pot of caribou stew was frozen solid over a dead fire, as if the cook had just stepped away. Inside the shelters, he found clothes, half-finished parkas with bone needles still stuck in them, and kayaks ready to launch. Then came the most chilling detail of all: rifles still leaning against the doorways. No hunter in this land would ever leave behind their rifle. It was unthinkable. No bodies, no blood, no footprints in the snow. It was as if the entire village had been plucked from the earth. Then, near the edge of the village, LaBelle found something even more disturbing: 7 sled dogs still tied to their posts. All of them had starved to death. Despite food being stored nearby, no one had returned to untie them. Shaken, LaBelle mushed to the nearest telegraph office and reported everything to the Royal Canadian Mounted Police. When the RCMP arrived, they found no sign of foul play, but they confirmed LaBelle's eerie account. The people were gone, their belongings untouched, their lives seemingly interrupted mid-step. But then, the story took a stranger turn. Other trappers in the area came forward with strange sightings. They reported a massive, pulsating, cylinder-shaped object in the sky, right around the time the village disappeared. They said it wasn't the Northern Lights. This was something different, something mechanical, something intelligent, something alien. No signs of a raid, no wild animal attack, no evidence of disease. That's when a wild theory began to take shape. What if they weren't taken by land, but by sky? The sudden disappearance, the abandoned tools, the total lack of tracks, the strange light. For believers, it all pointed to one chilling possibility: abduction. But it doesn't end there. According to legend, investigators discovered something even darker. The village's ancestral graveyard had been disturbed. The stone-marked cairns had been opened, and the bodies were gone. The ground was frozen solid. No predator could have dug them up. Were the abductors collecting the dead too? Before we pull back the curtain on what really happened, if you're enjoying this dive into the unknown, consider subscribing to Tales Beyond Borders. We explore the world's greatest mysteries every week, and we'd love to have you with us. Now, here's the twist. When you search for official records of the Anjikuni Lake event, you find nothing. The Royal Canadian Mounted Police have repeatedly stated that no such case was ever filed. No disappearance, no investigation. In fact, a sergeant in 1931 looked into the claim and found, quote, "no foundation for this story." So where did it come from? Researchers traced it back to a single article, published on November 27, 1930, in a Virginia newspaper called the Danville Bee. Written by journalist Emmett Kelleher, it described a small trapper's camp, not a full village. Decades later, the story was picked up by Frank Edwards in his book, Stranger Than Science. Edwards, known for exaggerating the fantastic, expanded the tale. From a camp of 25, the numbers grew. 30, 100, 1,000, even 2,000. No evidence, no records, just a really good story. What do you think is the real story of Anjikuni Lake? A genuine mass abduction scrubbed from the history books? Or one of the greatest paranormal hoaxes of the 20th century? Let me know your theory in the comments. Until next time, keep questioning everything.